Trump signals possible Middle East visit as Israel-Hamas negotiations show signs of progress. 1. Background. From conflict to possible breakthrough. For more than 2 years, the Israel-Hamas conflict has ravaged the Gaza Strip, leaving behind thousands of casualties, destroyed infrastructure, and a deep humanitarian crisis. Numerous diplomatic attempts by regional and global actors have failed to deliver lasting peace. But this week, optimism has begun to rise again. There are growing signs that an initial breakthrough could be approaching in the indirect peace talks between Israel and Hamas, taking place in the Egyptian resort city of Sharm el-Sheikh. Against this backdrop, former U.S. President Donald Trump has told reporters that he may travel to the Middle East later this week if the negotiations continue to move forward. "We are very close," he said, suggesting that his visit could coincide with a potential peace announcement. Reuters. 2. Current negotiations and key developments. 2.1 The framework of talks. The ongoing talks are part of a 20-point peace framework designed by Trump's Middle East team. The plan reportedly includes an immediate ceasefire, prisoner and hostage exchanges, gradual or complete Israeli withdrawal from parts of Gaza, demilitarization of Hamas, formation of a temporary administrative authority in Gaza under international supervision, and security guarantees from multiple countries to prevent the resumption of war. Despite remaining gaps, diplomats say both sides are now closer than ever to an understanding. Associated Press. 2.2 Recent progress. Both sides have reportedly exchanged lists of hostages and prisoners to prepare for the first phase of a swap. Hamas has proposed that prisoner releases and Israeli troop withdrawals be linked together in stages. Negotiators described the talks as moving in the right direction, though sensitive issues remain unresolved. According to U.S. officials, Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff, both part of Trump's team, are in Cairo to coordinate with Egyptian and Qatari mediators. The Guardian. 2.3 Sticking points. Despite cautious optimism, key disagreements persist. Hamas's armed status. Israel insists on complete demilitarization, while Hamas refuses to disarm without political guarantees. Scope and timing of Israeli withdrawal. Hamas demands a clear, step-by-step withdrawal schedule tied to prisoner releases. International monitoring. Both sides are debating which countries or institutions would supervise the ceasefire and reconstruction. Post-war administration. There is still no consensus on who will govern Gaza after the ceasefire, whether a local council, Palestinian Authority, or international oversight body. Al Jazeera. 2.4 International involvement. Egypt, Qatar, and Turkey are playing leading roles in mediating the process. Meanwhile, the U.S. has re-entered the diplomatic arena under Trump's direct influence, signaling a renewed push for American involvement in the region. AP News. 3. Trump's statement and the potential trip. Speaking at a press briefing at his Florida residence, Trump said, "It's possible we go there this weekend. Things are looking very good. We're getting very close, and you'll see what happens." According to sources cited by Reuters, Trump's team is considering a 3-day trip to Egypt, Israel, and possibly Jordan, depending on how negotiations progress over the next 48 hours. Reuters. If the visit takes place, it would likely coincide with a formal signing ceremony or at least a symbolic appearance to endorse the peace process. Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi has reportedly invited Trump to attend such a ceremony. Omni News. Trump has not confirmed the schedule but stated that the time feels right, and that he is ready to go if progress continues. 4. The prospects and risks. 4.1 Why a visit could be important. Political symbolism. A personal visit by a former U.S. president could lend weight and legitimacy to the talks. Diplomatic pressure. His presence could motivate negotiators to finalize key terms. Confidence building. Both sides may see the visit as a guarantee that the U.S. remains engaged. Historical significance. A successful peace announcement would echo past U.S. brokered deals like Camp David and the Abraham Accords. 4.2 Potential risks. Security concerns. The region remains unstable, making such a visit a serious security challenge. Unfinished terms. If core issues like disarmament or withdrawal remain unresolved, the trip could be premature. Political backlash. Critics in the U.S. could frame the move as a political stunt. Regional reactions. Iran, Hezbollah, or other factions could view the visit as provocation and escalate tensions. 5. If the trip happens, what to expect? If Trump's visit does occur, it could include meetings with Egyptian and Israeli leaders, and possibly representatives from Qatar. A potential joint statement or framework for peace announcement. Visits to humanitarian aid centers in southern Gaza or Rafah, though that depends on security clearance. A signing ceremony at Sharm el-Sheikh if negotiators reach a formal deal. In diplomatic terms, such a visit could mark a significant turning point, not only for Gaza but for the U.S. role in the Middle East after years of disengagement. 6. Historical context. Trump's possible trip would join a short list of major U.S. presidential peace missions. Jimmy Carter mediated the Camp David Accords between Egypt and Israel in 1978. Bill Clinton hosted the Oslo Accords signing between Israel and the Palestinians in 1993. Trump himself oversaw the Abraham Accords in 2020, normalizing relations between Israel and several Arab nations. This time, however, the context is more complex. The Gaza war has created widespread devastation, and both Israelis and Palestinians are under domestic pressure. Trump's re-entry into the picture is seen by many as an attempt to restore the kind of diplomatic momentum he once claimed during his presidency. 7. Remaining challenges. Despite optimism, there are serious obstacles to lasting peace. Distrust. Hamas officials remain skeptical after decades of broken promises and unilateral actions by Israel. Verification. Ensuring that ceasefire violations are detected and punished will be difficult without an international force. Reconstruction. Gaza's reconstruction will require billions in aid and coordination between rival governments. Political will. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu faces internal political divisions, while Hamas's leadership is under pressure from more radical factions. Each of these challenges could derail the process if not handled with precision and international support. 8. Global and regional reactions. Reactions to Trump's potential visit have been mixed. Egypt and Qatar have welcomed the idea, calling it a positive sign. The European Union has expressed cautious optimism but emphasized that any deal must respect international law. Iranian officials have dismissed the development as political theater. In Israel, right-wing leaders have praised Trump's involvement, while opposition voices warn against rushing a fragile peace. On social media, analysts and political commentators have described the possibility of a Trump-led peace announcement as historic, while others argue it could be premature and politically motivated. 9. What happens next? Diplomats in Cairo and Doha are working around the clock to finalize a draft agreement before Friday. If both sides approve, a ceasefire declaration could be announced within days, possibly with Trump present. Even if the final signing doesn't occur this week, the fact that the two sides are exchanging lists, discussing withdrawal timelines, and allowing international mediators back to the table marks a rare and promising moment in a conflict that has long defied resolution. 10. Conclusion. President Trump's announcement that he may travel to the Middle East later this week has reignited global attention on the fragile Israel-Hamas peace process. Whether or not he actually makes the trip, the statement alone has injected new urgency and focus.